This week for Tactical Tuesday, we're going to kick off our Getting Back to the Basics video series. These videos are specifically geared towards those of you who are new to the firearms community, and more specifically, those of you who have maybe picked up your very first AR-15 and would like a good starting point as far as things that you can do to that AR-15 to make it more ergonomic and more user-friendly. So with that in mind, this week we're going to cover one of the most simple upgrades that you can possibly do to your AR-15. We're going to cover the humble pistol grip. And as mentioned at the beginning of the video, we're going to start things off with the humble pistol grip. And we're going to discuss why many of us, myself included, choose to swap out the old school A2 pistol grip on their AR-15s. And while the A2 style pistol grips have done a great job for many years, there are a couple big reasons why someone would want to swap it out. The biggest one being is that by putting a different pistol grip on there, it's going to allow you to get a more ergonomic grip on the firearm. And what I mean by that is with the older style pistol grips, such as the A2, you'll notice that when you hold the firearm, it can cause a pretty substantial amount of strain on your wrist. And while you may not notice that right away if you're just doing some kind of basic bench shooting, you'll quickly notice this strain the longer you're out there shooting throughout the day. So if you're doing some prolonged drills, or if you're really spending more than a couple hours out there behind the gun, you're really going to start to notice that kind of pressure being built up on your wrist. Because what's happening is, since your arm has to be canted in such an awkward angle, all that weight of the firearm gets focused right here on your wrist, which can get quite uncomfortable very quickly. And that's even with a standard AR-15, which is a fairly light carbine. It can get even worse when you start adding weight to the front end of the gun, especially if you're putting like a suppressor, a PEC-15, a vertical grip, an optic on there. All that weight starts to really add up very quickly and only makes the strain on your wrist even worse. With that in mind, a lot of us will choose to put an aftermarket pistol grip on their AR-15. My personal favorite is the Magpul K2. Let me grab that real quick for you. As can be seen here on this IWI Zion SBR, we've gone ahead and pulled the A2 pistol grip off of it and replaced it with a Magpul K2 pistol grip. Now, for me, this pistol grip is far more comfortable than the standard A2 grip due to the fact that its angle is not nearly as extreme in the back. And what I mean by that is, again, as I'm pulling up there, my wrist can maintain more of a natural position in line with my arm. And I don't have to cant it nearly as far forward as I did with the A2 pistol grip. And again, by keeping my wrist in a more natural, almost vertical position, it reduces a lot of the strain off of my wrist after long durations of training. And that's even with all the added weight that we've put on the front end of this particular AR-15. However, if the K2 isn't your cup of tea, Magpul makes a whole variety of different pistol grips, and they have varying angles as well as different sizes. So there's sure to be an option out there that's going to work very well for you. Another big reason that you may want to swap out your pistol grip on your AR-15 is to get one that's going to be more size appropriate for your hands. Let's face it, we're not all the same size human beings, and we all have very drastically different sized and shaped hands. And because of that, there are a lot of varying styles of pistol grips available on the market that will allow you to fine-tune the feel of your AR-15 for you specifically. Another very popular option is the BCM Gunfighter Pistol Grip series. While they maintain many of the same grip angles as the Magpul K2 grip, they have far less of a blocky feeling in the hand, and they have more rounded out edges, making them more ergonomic for many people. And like many of the Magpul pistol grips on the market, the BCMs also feature a plug in the bottom of the grip that will allow you to store small tools and vials of oil. And swapping out the pistol grip on your AR-15 is actually very easy to do. If you haven't ever done it before, it doesn't take any specialized tools to do so. Generally speaking, you're only going to need a flathead screwdriver or a proper sized Allen key. And unfortunately, because of the rules and regulations of Facebook and YouTube, I can't actually show you how to do so. But trust me on this, that it is very simple. If you've ever used a screwdriver before, you'll be able to get it done, no problem. But as a little helpful tip, keep in mind that when you're doing so, there is a little spring and detent that are in the lower receiver that the pistol grip is keeping in place. So make sure that when you are removing the pistol grip that you do so slowly so that you don't lose that spring or detent. But as always, if you would prefer to have us install the accessories to your AR-15, we'd be more than happy to do so. We have very talented armorers here at the shop who can get your AR-15 tuned up and ready to go in no time at all. So guys, We hope that you got something out of today's video, that it was kind of some good food for thought. Again, we are aware that this is kind of a basic video, but the idea is to help those of you who are new to the community, and we wanted to welcome you and help you kind of jumpstart your journey when getting this new information. It's a whole new world, and there's a ton of accessories and things you can do to an AR-15. But remember, at the end of the day, accessorizing your AR-15 really doesn't mean anything if you're not getting out there and training with your AR and with any of those firearms that you own. Without the training and practice on the range, there's really no point to dumping in a ton of money on these things. But if you are taking that time, putting in the hours and getting in that training, we highly believe that you will start to notice those things that you can do to help improve your abilities. So guys, if you have any questions at all, always feel free to reach out to us. As always, we are more than happy to spend that time with you to help you find and accessorize your AR-15 so that it fits you perfectly. And guys, as always, continue to train hard, train smart, and until next week, God bless you.